Everybody got a story to tell. I'm sure you done heard about the young man who wasn't able to graduate. It was only because he was having issues at home. They're trying to provide for his family, letting him in a cell for the rest of his life.
Or maybe you heard about the man who did graduate, but before he can get to college, he became a victim to gun violence in a troubled neighborhood.
But see, we don't want to highlight these stories anymore. They only leave the world with a false stigma of what we truly are, which is amazing,
Awesome.
and brilliant. We want to tell you about the story of success, so we all can start changing that narrative right now. Welcome to the N4 Show live from the 4, where we feed your mind, body, and soul. It's your boy Louis Blaze.
It's Crimson Kojak over here.
What's going on, everyone? It's Self-Made Rio.
Yeah. We are IWD. That's individuals with dreams. And yeah, we got it. We did it, man. We here. It's the podcast. We official now.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Definitely a long time coming. I'm really glad we got to it and we did it. We doing it.
Yeah, on me, really doing the
We
work.
are.
Teamwork is the key. Teamwork
Yes,
make the
sir.
dream work. Shout out to Sequel, the man behind the camera. He said we ain't have to shout him out, but I'm going to shout him out anyway.
For real. He a real MVP right now.
So real quick, let me ask y'all check-in questions just because, we wasn't with each other all day. I'm feeling really energetic. I was going to say, like, rate y'all day on a scale of 1 to 1,000. I'm at 1,000. No, not even 1,000. I'm at 2,000. I think it's probably this healthy water I've been drinking. I'm feeling good.
I'm warming up, so I'm gonna say I'm at 500 by the end of the night. I should be at 1,000. No wilding.
Okay.
I'm at 1,000 right now. Blessed to be able to wake up today. So thank God.
On me, amen. Yeah, so just to let everybody know out there, this Info Show was a podcast created in order to, one, really highlight diverse youth talent, give people a voice to express their opinions on the world and what's going on, and report positive news, man, because
Yes, sir.
yeah, we launching this multimedia campaign and it's focused on changing the narrative for African-American males. So it's been an amazing journey, like having it with our wonderful partners, Soul Touch Productions, Irreducible Grace Foundation, Creative Catalyst. We've been
IGF.
working with the Council of Black Male Success, High School for Recording Arts. We in here right now, man. Shout
For
out
sure.
to all y'all. One love. So today, the show is going to focus on our 4 powers. That's N4. That's new mindset, new media, new leaders, and new narrative. And we just going to dive into it. So let's just get right into it. New mindset. One of y'all could go ahead and take it first.
I think a new mindset is
yeah.
like having being able to open up to a new perspective, a new way of thinking. Like you don't have to have this one mindset. You can have
Right.
multiple mindsets that you use for multiple situations. I think that's where a lot of people stumble on. It's not not realizing that you got to have a different mindset for each different situation because it ain't all the same. That's how you grow.
I believe new mindset is just from coming from the old you to the new you, just being able to grow and, just being able to mature. So a lot of ways you probably work things out when you were young. You probably working them out differently with the new mindset because you realize, it's better ways to actually go about things. So I think the new mindset is basically growth and development. So I think that's what they have to do.
For real, I agree. Like, that was a huge part of my life, having to implement a new mindset within my everyday life because, like y'all know, I just got off probation recently.
Congratulations.
Few years ago, I was like 16, was out there doing the wrong things, was emotional, distressed, and all that, and I ended up breaking the law, and it landed me in JDC, and they tried to charge me as an adult, but I got EJJ probation until I was 21, man. But I still thank God for that opportunity to put me in that jam because I had to really man up at an early age and develop that new mindset, start having self-love for myself, self-respect, self-efficiency, really having that self-realization, and over the past couple weeks, I've really been diving into a new mindset. I've been studying the brain and everything.
That's good.
Yeah, when I remember back in school, I wasn't even into science. Lately, I've been into science. You feel me? But just being open to something new.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, for real though. So when did you most recently implement the new mindset in your life?
I feel like I've been doing it for a while, but I'm taking it more serious, more so. Not that I'm just just trying to take everyone's perspective, being more cautious of whose perspective I take on, and like not letting that, being careful like what I put into my mind and the type of energy I take on and stuff.
Come on now.
And like I'm just like that's more so what I gotta do now. It's not just take new mindsets. I've always been open to seeing different perspectives. I just gotta be careful about, you know, whose perspectives I take on and stuff like that, and not letting someone else's perspective on something be mine. You know, just like still being myself, but at the same time still be, you know, like mentally open enough to grow from different things.
That's real, and I know Rio, man. We go way back, man. I know you'd have told me. Talk a little bit about your childhood, man. How you had to develop a new mindset too, you know, and what made you do that.
For sure. What made me develop a new mindset was just, you know, growing up, I wasn't the best person that I could have been, and I was just hanging around like the wrong crowd, doing things that I shouldn't have done. And what opened up my mind was that not only was I hurting myself, I was hurting my mom and my sisters, and that what really got to me. And, you know, I went to JDC a few times and was getting arrested by the police and had a couple guns put to my head by police. And I just didn't like the person I was or the image I was sending out to the world and for my fellow friends and family members. So I knew at that time if I wanted to be around the people that I love, like I didn't want to bring any hurt towards them. So like I had to change my ways. And so
that's real. That's real.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
so that I can be the best person I can.
That's
be
real.
around,
Yeah,
I love. So
yeah, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off.
Nah,
I wanted to add in because we got like real similar backgrounds. Like all of us got real similar backgrounds through the struggles of growing up in poverty and everything and what we had to do. Yeah. And honestly, that's not even our fault. You know, like having like establishing a new mindset. I feel like I really like opened up my third eye and I took a step back and I realized how the universe actually works, and this isn't our fault. You know, I feel like it's been like a strategic plan to create this structured system to keep barriers in place to keep brothers like us down.
Yeah, I see it.
I think it's systematic. My bad. Go ahead.
Like I see it as like, I agree with that. Yeah. Like I also see it as like it's like making victims like create other victims. You know, stuff like that. That cycle of hurt people. So like, cause like it wasn't their fault either, and like so they continue that cycle of like, you know, not knowing it. It's like it's really for me. It's like figuring out how to break that cycle, like how to not be a part of that cycle, and like if I'm keeping like real, like with like a lot of my family, like for me it's just not being around them as much. So, you know, gotta be careful about like which family members around. Like don't get me wrong, like I love them, but it's like that mindset they have. I can't keep that mindset. I can't keep that energy that they have, and so I gotta cut myself off for a while. You know, love them from a distance.
That's real.
And when I say like the world's like systematic, it's like dealing with like all the racism and stuff that we got going on in today's world. It's like they're getting away with what they're doing because as a culture and a race, like people, we're not doing what we should do. So the things that really matter, they're not getting touched on because we're not doing what we should do in the community. So the white people can get away with what they want all day because we can't be walking around saying Black Lives Matter when we killing each other on the daily. You know, so it's like we fighting for the real purpose, but the actions that are going on in the community makes it seem like, are they for real? Are they true? Should we help them? Should we be by their side? Should we, you know, believe what they're saying? So, like, we got to step up as individuals and as a community and also just, like, do better so that the things that we're striving for, our purposes and our reasons, people can honestly believe and, you know, and we get and how I should say it, we get the audience we want or
okay
you know, so
yeah, that's real. And that reminds me, like, we might as well just go ahead and bring a smooth transition to the next power, new media, because media really plays a heavy role on the mindset.
It definitely
does. Like media like really controls people.
It does.
Talking about the propaganda and everything. Like I was just watching something that it was a documentary created by Clee Sloan. It was Bastards of the Party, right?
Informing.
Yeah, informing. Talking about the Black Panther Party, and then he put in there how the FBI basically like used propaganda to make the Black Panther Party and another black organization turn on each other.
Wow.
You know, and then after that they killed off everybody, and then that's when the Crips and the Bloods started forming. Yeah. And then they used propaganda to make them form on each other.
Yeah. They
You
did.
know, and then you look at today, and like you said, the black on black crime, it's just crazy. It's like,
It's like
also,
everything that we try to get to like make our community better, like you said with the propaganda, like you said with the gangs. Like gangs were originated to protect the neighborhood. They were the ones there to feed the kids and make sure they were safe and make sure they got home from school or wasn't no white man or white woman doing anything wrong to them and getting away with it. So that's what gangs was originated for. But the outlook and everything that we have on them now is like way negative, and how the white people wanted it, now they got what they wanted it because, you know, I feel like as a community, the people that are in it, they should have made smarter decisions so that the reason that it was actually established would be, you know, known and present and set into stone. Like, this is not what it is, but now it's a different outlook on it, and it makes us look worse. So it's like we got to change that.
Yeah, like also like I was watching a documentary called The 13th, and he was talking about they were talking about the war on drugs and how like it's an actual quote of like I think it was like the vice president or something like that talking
goes
about
back to the 13th Amendment, and they bring you on the whole timeline.
Yeah, he's like talking about like how that he knew that the war on drugs wasn't on drugs; it was really on black people. It was giving them reasons to invade, you know, black neighborhoods
President
and
Nixon
stuff like
and them.
that.
For
like,
sure.
Yeah.
Man, because they talked about that in the Bastards of Party documentary too, how they basically ordered a huge sweep of all the black men, right? And in one day they arrested like 1,200 or some people out in Oakland. Like,
That's crazy.
Like, come on, that's ridiculous. A lot of black men wasn't even gangbangers or drug dealers, and they was still arresting them though.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you. But then let's talk, like, diving back into new media. Let's talk about the music that the young people be listening to. You know, we are artists. You know, I like to inspire people with my lyrics and convey a message, but it's
Louis
so much trash out there.
y'all. So go check out Louis Blaze on YouTube, man. All platforms you dig: Facebook, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, man. Get it all, man. Louis Blaze.
Yeah, love.
Yeah, but like with the music that we listen to and stuff, what I noticed is that like we listen to like nothing against like things like trap music and stuff like that, but like also like it's like I know it's more so a problem with the people who do listen to it, like art is just you projecting something that you saw in your life that's real.
Sometimes,
Like,
hopefully,
hopefully,
it's real.
like
feel
to
like
me, it's not art. Like it's not art if I'm not. For me, it's not art if I'm not projecting something that I've experienced.
Yeah,
and stuff
you got
like
some
that.
puppets out there that's just
like
this is what I do.
Like
The whole
even
time
like
never did that.
like all the way even to my drawing references, I always use real things.
Yeah.
Like and like more so like the people that listen, like it's like I know it's that there's people who try to listen to relate in a sense of like they want to feel included to that, like they just trying to get hype and stuff, and like more so it's like I know a lot of people who like from rappers to you know people who just consume it like. Where I can just point out like, hey, that doesn't apply to you. Like you don't like you ain't really living what you listening to and stuff. And like don't let that music get you hype, get you amped up. Like I seen it get some people amped up and get them messed up. Like it's like like it's not like it's just not even entertaining anymore.
Yeah. I feel like with the media, with the music and everything, it's taking control of the children because it's making a lot of, especially young black males, because we listen to a lot of music personally. But it's making black males feel like this is the way of life. This is what you have to be, and if you're not like this, you're not going to be successful or known. So like my message to all young men that's rapping, do whatever you do, like don't idolize those rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like idolize yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like be the best you. Push yourself to your full potential, and it's like. Create the life you want for yourself. Don't look at people with they smoking, sipping lean, or whatever they doing. Like do your own thing. Like make your mama proud. Cause like at the end of the day, when I think about proving a point, my only 2 points to prove is to God and my mom before I leave this earth. And those should be the only people that like you really like. Trying to make sure you impress, so don't impress the females. Like all the, like
that's
all
real.
the
That's
stuff.
real.
Like for me, when it comes to impressing, like it's like my only goal is to impress myself, like to the point where like I'm talking about impressing myself to the point where like I can't even lie, like it ain't even hyping myself. It's like
that's good.
Like
too,
I
bro.
gotta step back and say, damn, I created that. Like
yes, sir. That's a good feeling.
That's real. And then to piggyback on what Rio said, about people idolizing these rappers. It also like I'm gonna throw it back to the Bastards of Party movie again because I'm telling y'all this movie really changed my life.
I'm gonna
and
check
changed
it
the
out.
Way, yeah, y'all got to change the way I'm thinking. They highlighted the Superfly movie, the original one, not the one that just dropped. But
I seen
it was like the first time they showed like a black brother in the streets selling drugs, doing this thing. Being a criminal, basically, breaking all these laws, but he get away.
Right.
And then that created an illusion for all the young black people watching that like I could be a criminal and get away.
Right.
So it's crazy how media plays a huge part in our lives, man.
Yeah.
That's why I try to stay from it, because it'll suck you in and have you feeling like, man, this is the life and what it should be like, but it's not. You gotta like, when I think about everybody that's rapping doing their thing, like, you imagine if you was living your life doing your thing, people would say the same thing about you. So that's what you want. So it's like, you know, but
I think there's too many people trying to be, you know, like someone that they're not, like trying to be the next person. Like I think, like I was recently talking to like a associate of mine, you know, one of my peers. She was talking about like how like sometimes she wants to stand out, but she don't like that makes her like feel weird. She feels like, you know, like that loneliness. And I'm just like, I think that I now think that's the best feeling in the world, because like it's like I know I'm being myself. I'm not just standing out to stand out, but like I'm being myself while standing out. And you know, even like people like Einstein, Oprah, you know, Jay-Z, like any billionaire, Bill Gates, like what they did was they separated themselves like to stand out.
That's
Like
what
you can't bring someone up in like the same sentence as them, like in a sense, because there's just that uniqueness. And I guess we forget that. Yeah, like it can be long. Success can be lonely, but like that's just part of the process.
Yeah, and we all got it in us.
we do. We definitely do.
Yeah, then while we on new media, man, we just gotta shed some light on Meek Mill's album, man. I love what he's doing.
I can't lie, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't checked it out.
Man, you gotta hear that.
I know,
that's
like,
a violation.
What's crazy is like I was just watching this video on like Meek Mill was like on the
CNN?
news talk about prison reform. Yeah, he was on
reform. That was a good
CNN.
interview.
Like I like that
Criminal justice reform, actually.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we need to reform the system. And then
Definitely
that What's Free song and that Trauma song, them two really stuck with me. Jay-Z dropped some. Whew.
Yo, speaking of like the system,
on,
like
man.
The top.
like I just recently realized
He said it's off the top. No, this improv but no comedy.
No, but what you said about like reforming like the system, I just like realized recently that like people can own, like you can buy a prison, like it like
That's what Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, I got on Jordan's y'all, but F Michael Jordan, you know, and support people that you know invest their money.
yeah, like a lot.
But
of
you know, as a kid, everybody got those Jordans they like, y'all. But like, really think about the fashion sense when y'all buy stuff. Like a lot of the fashion stuff we wearing are owned by white people and they're racist and they don't even want us buying it. But we make their clothes look better and help them come up with the new trends and stuff. So it's like we need to support more black people that got black businesses, black clothing lines,
entrepreneurship,
black restaurants.
That's crazy.
a lot of
It's
their
like-
money goes to prisons. Like even like eventually like Walmart, their money was going to prison. Jordan's, their money was going to prison. Stuff like like you'd be surprised with how many industries and like big
They
companies.
get money off of prisons. They do.
like they fund
do.
prisons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Seriously, and that makes me think like it's so dope how we just smoothly transitioned into the next one, new leaders.
Yes, sir.
Because I feel like in order to change the system, we got to get inside the system.
Yes, sir, we do.
You feel me? We got to become lawyers. We got to become judges. We got to become sheriffs. You know, be in the police department. Growing up so much, we was taught to like not mess with the police. You can't call them.
Right.
You know, they struck fear within our hearts. You know, and we ain't want to be with them, or even looking at another black man who was an officer. We look at him bad, like, why you with him?
Yeah.
But we got to change that mindset.
like especially like what you said like about communities and like having more black businesses and stuff like that. Like even now, like right now, I'm I made it like a goal to have like at least a doctor's degree and like something that I can use to help out in the community. Yeah, in a black community, we need more black doctors, more black hospitals, stuff. You know, stuff
you
like
said, we got to get in those positions.
Yeah, like I feel like it's like kind of like this stigma that like I guess like for some reason it's like lame or boring to help out with your community, but like
Nah,
it's
never. never
it's
feel like
very
that.
important. Not us.
No, I'm just
but like
to the people,
but like
never,
more like
never
in
feel like
general,
that.
and like it's more like our communities could be so rich. Like we don't
So rich.
like as black people, we don't make the number one like most money, but we spend the most money.
Yeah,
Like
we do.
actually, like we're like the 9th richest people in the world, black people, the 9th richest, and like we spend like I think there
Think
was a
about our
statistic.
ancestors, though.
There was a statistic saying like I think like either like a million or it was like $1 billion went to Jordans alone in 1 year.
Speaking on leaders, we need more people like Martin Luther King and like Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Gandhi, and like
Huey P. Newton,
Yeah.
Fred Hampton,
Yes,
Bunchy
sir.
Carter,
yes sir, like,
Come on,
definitely.
man.
people to not
Harriet
be afraid
Tubman,
of
Rosa Parks,
fighting for
Angelique
what's right.
Davis.
And if you feel like you one of those people out here, you fight for really what you believe in, come join IWD and N4. Like we the same way. Like we tired of getting ran over with by the system and those people. So like
Let them know.
new leaders is important because if you don't have no one to stand up for, we just gonna all feel like, dang, we don't got no support. Who gonna stand up and like what's next? And speaking of new leaders too, like I feel like we have leaders in the community that with good platforms, but they're not using them right. So
Right, or they don't even get the opportunity to get on the platform. Like
Yeah.
all of the positive stuff that's going on doesn't get highlighted.
It
And
gets
that's
outshined by like
Yeah.
such negative like things.
And that's
you know,
why
like-
we got to blow up so we could put
Yes,
the
sir.
good out. You
Yes,
feel
sir.
me? Like,
Yeah.
That's why this stuff got to blow up and we just take over so we
Yeah.
can highlight all the positivity that's going
Yo,
on
and like
change that narrative.
speaking of positivity and negativity, how does one like identify what is negative and what is positive? Like I'm sure it's easy to know like the basics of it, but
think
like
it's like a
more
feeling.
more
Yeah.
enhanced. Because like for example,
You feel it something is
you
wrong.
just-
yeah,
You
yeah,
feel
like no, I give you like an example of what I mean.
What's up?
Like a lot of us, like I think we all got Instagram on our phones probably, or we've been on Instagram before.
I'm a rapper. I need all social media.
Yeah, like okay, for example, like what I noticed with like this isn't like a knock on Instagram comedians or anything like that, but like certain things like that's just like I see over and over again. It kind of sends us like a message and like an underlying message in a way. But like black comedians like see like this. I'm trying to say it without even like cursing it or anything like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it clean.
You're like, I'm
We
trying to
don't
keep it as
use
clean as
cuss
possible,
words,
but like
zero profanity.
But like
okay?
some like the like
Your kids can watch
like
the
some
show.
of the things that get reinforced so much is like that could become a new stereotype for us and stuff like that. And like I ain't trying to see like any more stereotypes. I don't believe in good stereotypes.
We shooting those down. Oh, stereotype, pow, stereotype, pow, stereotype.
That's not good.
We
to
shouldn't
judge
know
with
that.
Stuff
first
like that,
cover,
like that every black man's a cheater, every black woman is a gold digger, stuff like that. Like
Yeah, we gotta
Stereotypes.
kill.
I'm like it's like sometimes like yeah I can take a joke. I think it's funny sometimes too, but it's like when every single one is doing the same type of content, pushing the
and then
same
it be
type
us
of
black
message.
people that be feeded into that.
Yeah, we be feeding into
Yeah,
that.
we
Like
feeding into that,
like we be
you know?
feeding into that. It's like are these our new leaders? Like
Right.
Nah,
We
man,
gotta-
I just implemented a new leader in my life, man. The other night, I heard his name not recently. I heard his name in the past. Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi is actually Dr. Sebi, and what he is. Y'all ever heard of Dr. Sebi?
I haven't.
Man, yeah, the man who cured AIDS.
Yeah.
And everybody like it's so crazy because
Wait, he
cured
AIDS.
AIDS.
He cured AIDS.
Bro, you don't know this? Bro, I'm
Bro.
finna put you on.
Inform
you
him,
gonna have to
man.
put me
Finna
on
you
tonight.
on,
Tonight
man.
for
Dr.
real.
Sebi, man. He was born in Honduras, but he was an African. He believed in African philosophy.
Black excellence.
And he really studied medicine through the originator, what's his name? Hippocrates or something like that. My bad if I misspelled it wrong. I mean,
Was it like Socrates or something?
no, it started with an H, Hippocrates. But he wrote that like you need to heal the human body with herbs and not chemicals, right?
Yeah.
And he got that from the Bible, because in Revelations in chapter 22, verse 2,
Yeah.
it states that the healing of the nation will come from the trees.
Preach, bro.
So like, yeah, you feel me? I turned to a preacher, but yeah, Dr. Sebi, what he did, he was a herbalist and a healer, and he had the cure for AIDS, the cure for leukemia, the
Wow.
cure for cancer, blindness, bro.
That's
I promise you, bro.
How he figured that one out?
You feel me? Then this is
Yeah.
what happened. Why the state of New York tried to sue him, right?
For doing that?
look, they tried to sue him. They was like, "Oh, you lying about saying you got the cure for AIDS,
put,
and you practicing medicine without a license," because he never went to school. He never went to school a day in his life.
And he knew all that.
Knew all that, bro, but never went to school. A Mexican taught him when he was young, like a
Shout
Mexican.
out our Mexicans.
Yeah, for real. Mexican taught him. That's real. But New York tried to sue him, and he went in there and defended himself and won. Wow. I was watching a video. He was talking about it.
He didn't need no attorney or nothing. He stood up for
No,
himself.
Look, when dude asked him like, "Did you have an attorney?" He was like, "Hell no."
Black excellence.
Why would I do that?
Black excellence. You
he
see that?
Defended himself because he knew what he had was real. Right. You know, he knew it was reality. Like he said, the prosecutor told him, like, "What's this theory that you got with the cure with AIDS?" He's like, "You talking about a theory? The theory is made up. I'm talking about reality. I know this is the cure to AIDS." And then he taught us that it's only one disease. You know, all these things they always say is this disease, this disease. He found out that it's only one disease, and that disease is mucus. Wow. Because with every other disease, it's always mucus affecting something. It's always mucus affecting something.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how he defended himself. Like, y'all got to watch it, man. He was asking the judge questions, and the judge was validating it like, yeah, you're right. The judge like, yeah, you're right. So, like, it was crazy. And then they told him that if you cure AIDS, you got to bring somebody that could validate that, right? So he had to bring 9 people to validate that he cured 9 diseases. Wow. He brought 77. 77. Come on now. Nipsey Hussle finna do a documentary on it.
That was more than enough people.
Why don't we know about this though? Is what I'm saying.
Because they don't want stuff like that to be exposed, and that because AIDS ain't just black people. That's all races. So why would something like that
from all around the world?
Wait. I think part of that is like the type of media that we search, like the type of media we go towards, that we gravitate towards.
So
like
you got to have a new mindset to take you to new media, to study new leaders and create that new narrative of life. Having that full realization on human potential, humans earning power, humans earning capital, and that brings us to new narrative. You know, I want to live in a day. New narrative for me is living in a day where I ain't got to be judged based on the color of my skin. You feel me? My skin is not a weapon. We done got pulled over so many times, bro. And we know our rights, and when they see we know our rights, they get disrespectful and still put us in the cop cars and all this. And it's probably because of what they think about us, because they don't know us, they can't relate to us. But we got to change that narrative, bro, because we got brothers getting shot down, man, and I'm tired of it. I'm getting tired of it too, because I feel like I feel like a lot of the white people, not to like sound like extra racist. I know Rio over there. He realized that's like his third time saying white people.
I can say from a personal experience, like
a lot of them be police officers for certain reasons, because it's like why almost every time a black person run into a white officer, something like so tragic end up happening. It's like, are y'all being officers to like still keep the slavery mentality going, letting people know like y'all can't get y'all way? And it's just like we getting tired of that, like to the point where I'm ready to like hand out surveys and do like drug tests once a month with the police to see like what is y'all real feeling on the community, because y'all supposed to serve and protect. Y'all not doing neither one of those. You know what I'm saying? We really protecting ourselves out here from y'all and the danger that can just come out of the blue. So it's like y'all not making people in the community feel safe. So when you feel like you're not safe, you have all these extra emotions and thoughts going on in your head all day. So it's like, and that's not good to have a lot of people in certain communities feeling like that. So I just feel like people, we all the human race. Like the color doesn't matter. We all human. That's what matters. So like we all just need to love each other. Like for real, we ain't gonna get nowhere in this world until everybody realize equality and equity. Like that's real. Like that's when you know.
And Martin Luther King said that hate would not drive out hate. Only love could do that.
Like to bounce off something you said with like the white people, like I can say it's from personal experience. Like I'm not even gonna go on like cops. I'm gonna go on like the ones you socialize with like on a daily experience. And, like kind of like what I notice is like I don't think they realize this is racist, but like kind of like expecting like a certain stereotype from us, like. You know, like expecting me to talk a certain way, expecting me like, you know, to act a certain way or do drugs, certain drugs and stuff like that. Like, you know, like honestly, like those are the ones that are really dangerous, that really get you in trouble.
Expecting them stereotypes. That reminds me, real quick before we get ready to wrap it up. this job that I had, it was the U.S. Open job. We helped set up like this racquetball tournament. It was cool. The workers, they was real cool. So we worked, we got our checks.
Yeah.
A year go by, they call us back, and we there, right?
Yeah.
The white dude, he like, oh, what y'all got some good checks last year. Y'all went and got some new J's or something, he said. I said, no, we started a business.
Yeah.
You feel
I
me?
was like,
I don't
it's-
like
yeah.
how he
yeah.
approached you
We
either.
started
how he
a
said it
business.
like that either.
Yeah, I ain't even take it personal neither.
Yeah.
It just because I know him and like I feel like he didn't mean no harm. He probably
Yeah.
was just like trying to say something, but then
Yeah.
again, he don't even know that was a little racist. You know, he
yeah.
don't even recognize it. That's why I love when Jordan Lucas dropped that song "I Am Not Racist."
Like honestly,
that's
my
a good
like
song.
like
We gotta
yo
play
speaking
that.
like I'm like being racist and stuff. Like recently, like my perspective on like what racism is kind of like changed in a way. And like what I'm realizing is like and like hear me out on this whole thing. It might sound wild in the beginning. Like a lot of people, like a lot of white people, can't be racist. Like, and they're in a sense of they can't systematically oppress me. Like, there's like a group of people that can. Like, for example,
My
the
bad, though, you lost me.
wait, like
you did lose me. You, I
wait.
heard
I'm gonna come back.
A lot of
I'm
white people can't be racist.
I'm
What
gonna
did you
come back.
say?
I'm gonna come back to it. Okay, like they can't.
This
Like they
show
can't be
gonna go
racist
over
in
like
a
an extra 10 minutes, y'all.
in a sense
It's
that they
finna go
can't
down.
systematically like oppress me. Like for example, my neighbor can't systematically oppress me.
They
They can be
already did.
like they can be
You
prejudiced.
was
Like
systematically
no.
oppressed when you was a fetus.
Wait, like no. Listen, like get what I'm saying. Like your like in the sense of like your actual neighbor. Let's say you got a white neighbor, like to some degree, yeah, they white privilege can like
on their door. You want some cake?
yeah, like can like get to you, but like in the sense of like your boss, he can be racist. He can systematically oppress you in like your work, like and stuff like that. He can cut your. He's the one who cuts your checks, make sure you get paid on time, stuff like that. Your neighbor, he can't. You know, he can't stop you from getting your check. He can call the cops on you and stuff like that, and
get
like
you killed.
yeah, that's that white privilege right there.
He could
but in a
watch
sense,
you every single
what's
day,
your
spy
point,
on you
though?
every
yeah,
single day.
like and like my sense of like a lot of
saying that
people
they
can't
do
like.
that.
In a sense of like a lot of people can't be racist on like a grand scale. Like there's like that percentage, and those are like some of the richest people in the world
Nah, bro,
who get us.
I feel like you separating racist, bro. Racist is racist, bro. Period. If you
Like
racist
what
just a
what
little
do you
bit,
define racist
racist.
as?
Look,
like
yeah, I'm finna tell you.
Yeah, come on,
Racism, that is homegrown. That is a mindset. So
Like,
anybody
it is.
you know, they've been taught that to be that certain type of way. So it doesn't matter what type of skin they is. Their parents, whoever grew them up in a household, taught them to be that way. It's up to that person to grow up and mature and to realize that. Why am I thinking like this? Why am I treating people like this? These people have done nothing to me. You have to grow up out of that. It's not some people's fault that they are. They've been raised around their grandparents, and their grandpappers say, nigger, all that, F them, don't bring them around all day.
Right.
So
It
they know
rubs
they
off.
can't have no black friends.
Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the black
Like, either I
community,
be
it
like
rubs
that
off.
or my
Our
parents.
dads be drug dealers. We go,
Yeah.
we want to be
Yeah.
drug dealers
Yeah.
too. You know,
Yeah.
it
So-
rubs off. It's
Yeah.
like a never-ending cycle. But the one thing that I feel about racism, man,
What's up?
is that it's never really changed, right?
Yeah.
But now we living in a day where media is always live and there's always cameras out and everything is really being spotted.
it's a whole lot
So-
more exposure to
Yeah, a
it.
whole
It's
lot.
like
Yes,
because
sir.
this dude was on the podcast talking about like they don't know how big the Rodney King thing was. Like they actually like now you can capture it on footage like that. You got your phone with you all the time, even better quality. But back then you like a cam like it was rare for someone to even have a camcorder like that. You know, like it was expensive to have any type of camera equipment.
Yeah.
So like that was
Then
a
them
big deal.
officers got off.
That's why they got
Yeah,
away with
man,
so many
and they beat him
things,
like a
man.
dog.
Man,
Like that
all
was
4 of them was guilty, man. All 4 of them.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 7 of them. Like it was just a whole bunch of
And
like
that's
cars
sad,
piled
man.
up circling him. Like it was tragic
They
back
always
then.
do,
That
man.
was a huge thing.
Yeah,
And like
man.
he got like don't like I can't like he got a whole bunch of money off that, but that should have never happened in the first place. It's not about the reimbursement you get. It's about that should have never happened in the first place.
Yeah.
There's like they talk about he got reimbursed. Like it shouldn't have never happened. It should have never even been a thought that crossed someone's mind to do that to someone else.
That's real, man. But man, this is our first podcast. I feel like this little 45 minutes to an hour, that whatever we just did, not even long enough, man. This most definitely, it's not the last. I just want to say, thank all y'all for tuning in for the very first podcast, showing you what new mindset, new media, new leaders, and new narrative is all about. And you see the conversations that stirred up out of these four powers was very powerful. You feel me? And I feel like with this campaign, man, we really need all y'all love and support.
Definitely
so
do.
make sure y'all go follow us on Facebook, go subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram,
like,
everything.
share, comment.
At IW Dreams, man.
Yes, sir.
One more time, this the N4 Show live from the 4 where we feed your mind,
Yes,
body, and
sir.
soul. It's your boy, Louis Blaze.
I see y'all. It's Kojak. I'm out.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody that's hopefully going to see this. I appreciate y'all. Like, share, and comment. If you guys would like to get in tune with us, please inbox us, DM us, Snapchat us.
Y'all could be on the
No,
show.
hit
We
us
not
up in the
Hollywood. We want
Discord.
everybody to
We-
come on the show.
we want
We do plan on making a
expand
Discord so we can, have
opinions.
some community discussions. Even if we can't, vocally talk to y'all through a video, we're gonna make sure we can get good feedback and communicate
And
with each
also,
other well.
We
If-
working.
If you guys have any topics or any discussions you guys would like us to touch on, please just leave them in the comment area so that we can touch on those topics.
That's real, man. Hey, this was good for our first show,
Yeah,
man.
it was.
I'm happy, man. Well, look, we out.
We out.
We out.